All right, guys, I want to welcome you guys to week 8 of project planning and documentation. And recapping week 7, you guys had the written assignment on the status report that is due midnight. And then, of course, oops, I forgot to change that 07. Discussion for identifying and correcting concerns. You guys are doing okay with the discussion post. Just make sure that you are getting those classmates' names in your feedback response posts, because I do deduct points for that. And keep in mind of that 60-40 split. So 60% is your initial post, and then of course 40% is your feedback or response post. And moving into week 8, we're starting to bring this project into a close. So it's all about closing the projects and post-implementation audit. You'll have a written assignment, post-implementation audit, final steps for part of your discussion post, and of course, thoughts on the future for your course project. The objectives for week 8 list several best practices used in project management, explain what is involved in conducting a post-implementation audit, and discuss the process of closing a project performed as part of project management. So we'll be doing this, of course, through a few things. You've got your written assignment, which is the post-implementation audit. You're going to review the 6 steps to successfully close a project, and then basically tell me what you thought the greatest challenge was in those steps, why or why not, which steps or steps do you consider to be the greatest importance during the close of a project, and why do you think this? This should be about a 1-page document, and make sure it is in APA formatting. This is worth 30 points, and you can see how it's broken down. 10 points to explain the 6 steps and why they're which ones were the greatest challenge for a project manager, and then of course discuss which steps do you consider the most important and why. And then of course 10 points for APA formatting, correct grammar, spelling, and punctuation. The course project is on thoughts of the future, so we're going to now start looking to wrap up your course project, putting everything together based on kind of overviewing everything that you've done so far on the course project. You're kind of now wrapping things up and discussing on how things kind of turned out. Did you successfully complete the project under the budget and time? Did you hit some snags along the way? How did you and your team contribute to the overall process in the team? And then of course you're going to create a 2 to 3 page envision on how your your project turned out. So obviously a lot of this is going to be pretend, because I'm sure not many of you had the opportunity to really implement. I've heard between implementing an IT programming throughout the company, or even being a wedding photographer or a wedding planner. So unless you've actually been able to do the project, I would expect some of this to be pretend and made up, just as long as you can address and hit most of these criteria. And then of course, I would really recommend, once you've completed this, to really start looking at compiling everything together and writing out an introduction and conclusion, because this is all going to come due really relatively fast in week 10. So kind of breaking it down, that you've created and this is more realistic, a 1-page prediction. Don't do the 2. I don't think you can do 2 to 3 pages. A 1-page prediction document, basically addressing any of the possible outcomes of the project, and that you've addressed, how did you envision things turning out? Was it successful? Did you hit snags? How was your team members? Did you have any problems there? And this is worth 40 points, so it's a pretty good chunk. The discussion post for this week is on final steps as well. So project closures in one of the final steps of the project process. So basically what you're going to do is discuss why do you think that many companies and project managers overlook important parts of the process for closing out projects or doing any type of auditing, final post auditing on projects. And then what are some of the ways that you could make project closure more creative and maybe more fun for everyone that's involved. So you have your initial post again Wednesday and your feedback post Saturday. And I am offering extra credit. I think some of you had asked me about this, so it is now week 8, and this is typically when I release extra credit. Phew. It's kind of a fun exercise, if you will. Basically, you're going to go to the humanmetrics.com website. From there, you're going to review it's called the Young Topology Test. The test is about 60 questions long. After you take the test, I clicked on it on accident. You'll then give me the 4-letter code that you get from the test. It is free. There is no charge. If you end up going anywhere crazy, email me, because you shouldn't have to pay for anything. And then once you email me, I will look and review extra credit. I'm going to hit probably assignments first. And from there, then I will contact you directly and let you know where extra credit will be posted. But I'm basically going to replace the lowest assignment grade for 100. So if you didn't do one, or you didn't do well, or you missed an assignment, this would be a good opportunity for you to make that up. And the test is kind of fun, I think. So all I need is the 4-digit code, but you're more than welcome to tell me anything else that you've kind of found out about this test. You might have taken a Myers-Briggs test before, so if the results were similar, you can tell me that. I have a lot of people tell me that most of the time they're pretty similar. I think mine just get more and more higher in the certain areas. I think I'm almost like 70% across the board for them. So questions, comments, and concerns, feel free to reach out to me, emailing me. You can always network with classmates, and then of course my office hours, or setting up an appointment with me. So I hope everybody has a great week 8, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.